Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and selamat pagi kepada semua. So hari ini kita akan bersama-sama dengan Profesor Muhammad Rizal bin Arsyad, speaker tetap kita untuk Perintis Yang Professionals PYP Early Career Academics Online Seminar and Training Session 2022. Okay, so ini adalah kali pertama kita cuba buat pada hari Ahad pagi. Selalunya adalah hari Rabu ataupun Khamis, weekdays pagi. So, we are expecting some more people to join us. However, kita mulakan sahaja dulu. Lepas ni kita akan ada recording yang boleh dilawati semula di YouTube Perintis. Okay, as for today, tajuk kita adalah fostering good relationship between academia and industry, why and how. Kita akan melihat kenapa, why is it important, and how, bagaimana. Okay, tetapi sebelum tu, saya juga nak share yang kita ada lagi dua lagi sesi untuk EAST22. Seperti mana yang saya share, kita ada dalam bulan Julai nanti must have attributes of successful postgraduate research supervisors, focusing on supervisor, and August is on professional qualifications and memberships for academics. What's the catch? Okay, so kalau kita tengok Prof Rizal, dia ada IR, TS, doktor kan, so that's on professional qualification. Kenapa penting untuk ada panjang-panjang title tu lah. Okay, so we'll look into that in August. Dan satu lagi yang saya nak share juga is actually how you can revisit all the recordings yang ada dalam our Perintis punya YouTube. If you go on YouTube, you just type Perintis, nanti dia akan bawa kepada Perintis punya channel, and then you can click on playlist. Okay, and then dekat playlist ni adalah all the recordings of Perintis punya program. And if you are interested specifically in EAST 2022, okay, you can just click on the playlist of EAST 2022. Okay, and also the slides that's been shared by Prof Rizal, kita ada archivekan juga. I will also share the link for the slides punya access from time to time dalam ruangan chat box dan juga dalam Perintis punya Facebook page. Okay, so that's all untuk pesanan penaja, and I would like to pass the screen to Prof Rizal. Silakan Prof.
Baik. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning. I'm Ahmad Rashdan and I see apa ni, tadi ada seorang lagi dah keluar lah.
Terkeluar
It's okay.
tadi.
It's okay.
Tak apa, dia akan masuk.
This is a recording. Hopefully nanti akan ramai tengok lah. Akan ada yang boleh manfaatkan lah maksudnya. Okay, saya buka slide ni. Boleh nampak kalau slide ni?
Okay, boleh nampak bro.
Okay, let me just proceed lah insyaAllah. Pertamanya, the title is Fostering Good Relationship Between Academia and Industry, why and how lah. So basically, one of the traits atau one of the things that we have to do in university is to collaborate within the industry, because we are not living. Academia does not exist in vacuum lah. It is in a society, in a yang mana dalam tu ada industri, ada general society that we need to interact with. So maknanya memang akademia ada, dan kita pun tak nak academic institution ni detached from the reality outside lah. Sebab at the end of the day, when we train our student, we are training them for the society in general and specifically for the industry lah. So itu maksudnya, and cuma of course kita kena faham juga, we are not producing workers. We are not aiming to produce workers, but aiming to produce human capital, human beings that will benefit society in general and will be able to maksudnya work in industry and generate their own income and sustain their family lah. Tapi maknanya memang lari lah bahawa being an academic as an academic and university setting or institute of higher learning, kita kena bridge the gap between create bridges between academia, which is university, and also the industry at the organizational level and also at the individual level. Kita kena make effort to do that. Okay. Dan kita pun tahu dia ada setengah kata ada quadruple helix, maksud dia tambah society itu lagi kan. Tapi dia mula dulu we talk about triple helix, now they talk about quadruple helix. Tapi kalau kita talk about helix system ni, dia ada university or institute of higher learning, kita ada industri dan kita ada government, dan especially kita ada satu dari society lah in general. Industri ni kalau kita replace dengan society pun boleh juga, sebab industri part and parcel of society. So maknanya there will be interaction between if we look at the university dengan industri punya interaction tu, dia memang ada relationship dan ada kaitan lah, maksudnya antara dua item tersebut. So kalau kita tengok industri academy and collaboration pun memang it is an ecosystem in itself. Maksudnya kita ada university provide human capital train graduates. Kemudian kita do research, kita ada our social responsibility, and the same with the industry, sebab industry we thought they need the talent which year in year out turn out or graduated who graduated from the universities. We need the talent, the workers, right? And then of course from there they do innovation, they have the social responsibility to return it back to society and especially to the university. So dia ada symbiotic kind of relationship lah. Maksudnya win-win relationship between university and academia. Dan memanglah bila kita talk about relationship ni, dia ada expectation kan. Macam when we talk about, kalau even if we talk about human being to another human being, kita ada expectations kita. Macam even talk about down to family matters like husband and wife contohnya. So there are expectations between each party involved. So apalagi when we talk about industry and academia and industry, there are expectations that we need to entertain. Yeah. Sebab semua relationship ni kita ada dia punya end goals, dia ada end goals, ada matlamat dia kan. Jarang lah kalau macam bukan mustahil, tapi jarang lah kalau when one establish a relationship, jarang lah without nothing. There must be a purpose behind it. Sekurang-kurangnya untuk mengisi kesunyian lah, sekurang-kurangnya. Kalau kita ada personal level lah, maksudnya ada more professional level. Kalau kita talk about academia and also industry punya relationship, there are expectations that need to be understood and need to be abide by. Contohnya kalau macam industri expectation ni, maksudnya selalulah kalau kita cakap dengan pihak industri, contohnya they always talk about market aligned courses. They talk about they want university to develop skill manpower. Ni siapa yang biasa deal dengan industri ni, dia akan jumpa benda ni lah. Being voiced out by the industry. They want skill manpower. Skill manpower ni maksudnya apa? Once a student graduated, they can really straight away work and fit the needs of the industry without further training. Ini maksud skill manpower. Dan selalu inilah jadi the crux of the issue dalam hubungan antara universiti, akademia dan universiti, sebab academia are not supposed to produce a skill graduates who are set to work in a specific industry. Dia tak boleh buat macam tu, sebab nanti it's not good for the graduates because the industry may not survive 4 years down the road or 3 years down the road. Jadi sebab tu when we train graduates, normally kita train generic skills, dan kadang-kadang ada certain small percentage of specialization towards a final year, itu je. Tapi jaranglah kita university train graduate is specific to a discipline, specific to a company, no matter how big it is. And sebab there's no guarantee that business or that entity will be there 3 years, 4 years down the road. Tapi itulah realitinya. And that's selalu industry expectation solution for concerns. Bila kita cakap dengan industri, kita tahu banyak masalah-masalah mereka yang kadang-kadang sebenarnya penyelesaian dah ada pada pihak universiti, tapi kita tak tahu kan. isu-isu operational approach. Kalau pihak akademia pula kita expect funding, infrastructure. Contoh kalau saya bidang robotik contohnya, atau rakan-rakan saya bidang elektronik, IC design contohnya, ada banyak software yang very expensive kalau universiti nak beli sendiri, atau equipment yang terlalu mahal kalau universiti nak beli sendiri. Tapi kalau work with industry, kita ada access pada laluan untuk menggunakan software atau hardware berkenaan. Contohnya lah, contohnya like academic association, equal partnership, placement, feasible dan sebagainya lah. So maknanya nak katakan, bila kita foster academia university relationship ni, kita kena aware bahawa there are expectations. Dia tak ada, we are not standing on nothing, we are standing on expectations. There are things that we expected from each side. So kita kena aware benda tu lah. Dia beza kalau kita make friends, kalau kita make friends beza juga, sebab kalau kadang-kadang kita berkenalan dengan industri ni tak ada purpose, tak adalah specific project sebagainya, it's purely for the sake of making connection, networking, itu pun tak ada masalah. Tapi kalau to make it workable or fruitful punya partnership atau friendship atau collaboration, dia mesti ada specific goals lah. Dia ada specific goals. Kalau kita tukar name card je tak cukup again, you just exchanging name cards kan, tapi it goes beyond that lah. Okay. Kemudian kita bercakap tentang, dia banyak lah kalau you Google lah, you cari paper banyak lah pasal university industry collaboration ni, macam-macam lah kan. Tapi at the end of the day, kalau you tengok UIC tu university industry, UIC dalam apa ni, block diagram ni, UIC stands for university industry collaboration. This is one of the paper published So at the end of the day, dia mesti ada towards a goal. What's the outcome yang kita we are aiming for. Jadi saya nak beritahu, bila when you as an academic, when you work in industry, you must be clear right from the onset. Outset tu apa benda yang, what are you aiming for? Is it monetary? Is it monetary gain? Because there are, it's not, tak salah pun untuk aim for monetary gain. Maksudnya extra income lah from consultancy. Is it access to equipment, facilities, enhanced research activities? Is it you want to learn new knowledge? Kadang-kadang kita work di industry because we want to know new things yang mana tak available bagi kita di luar. Sebab industri ni dia deal with day-to-day real issues, sedangkan kat universiti ni because we are training future generations, normally kita punya training material tu hard materials lah, textbook materials, benda yang tak terlalu volatile kan. Jadi kita train our students. Whereas when you go to industry, they handle volatile things, very dynamic material. Maksudnya things can change, the importance, the technology can change. Kalau dalam IC industry, nano dia punya component size getting smaller and smaller, nanometer, etc. Fabrication methods. So every year is getting smaller and it's more complex. So which is far different from our textbook. Tapi itu reality industri lah, maksudnya yang kita kena try to embrace, kena faham lah. Dan juga dan ini selalu menjadi masalah because bila seorang akademik itu try to foster new relationship dengan industri sebab dia punya different work culture. Different work culture. Nanti kita akan cakap lagi lah hopefully lepas. Okay. So maknanya kalau kita tengok this macam generalized punya presentation ni, kita ada formation phase, organization form, operational phase dengan outcome. Memang betul lah, dia ni phase, dia mesti ada macam contoh lah kalau kita nak foster how do you start your collaboration? Senang cerita, how do you start? How do you suddenly, so how can if you talk to anyone who have got an industry contract projects atau consultancy project, contract research sebagai from industry, you need to ask him or her macam you mula. So yang mula tu penting. Sebab how did they start off the relationship? Dia macam kaedah lah, tapi tak semua yang kita trigger dengan industri ni akan end up dengan project. Sometimes dia hilang macam itulah, it doesn't end up anywhere lah. So maksudnya to some, from what perspective, it's a waste of your time lah, but actually from another perspective, it's not a waste of time, it's an enrichment of experience. So maksudnya dealing with industry, kadang-kadang you talk to let's say 5 industry, at the end mungkin satu projek dapat yang really follow through lah, dapat sampai you dapat grant, you dapat produk, you dapat collaboration, IP sebagainya kan. Tapi the formation phase tu memang penting lah, but this is where you get to know them. You identify their problems, they identify your expertise, etc. So then of course they go through the formalities, MOU, MOA, then they go for actual process of executing the plans and then the outcome. So dia banyak faktor situlah. Tapi bagi saya, it's good for you to just start any collaboration. Start it off just to get the experience. We start with simple activities so that you get the experience of working or dealing with industry people. Mereka punya mindset beza, mentally beza dengan kita lah. Kita punya frame of mind dari segi time needed to do task pun berbeza. The agency berbeza because we work in different culture, different environment kan. Okay. Within a more detailed kind of, this was from another paper that I found in terms of university industry partnership, dia punya symbiotic punya relationship, mana win-win atau each parties get benefits of the relationship. So you have this domain of expertise of academy and then domain of expertise of what industry are dealing with. So you have the knowledge generation and transmission, and then you have the knowledge application side. So in the middle, you have so many things that where we can work together lah. Contohnya kalau macam knowledge generation and transmission, you talk about teaching, missionary resources. Ini yang kita ada dalam universiti lah. Yang we turn out every year kan untuk graduates, degree, bachelor student, master student, etc. Itu ada knowledge generation and transmission. Kemudian kalau knowledge application, kita tengok products, process, service. These are industry domain. Dia punya domain of expertise. Engineers, researchers, managers, and you got the workshop. So these are two domain of then the interaction tu, the intersection tu, you can see joint steering committee, joint project, sharing of hardware, software, IP, scholarship, etc., etc. So there are a relationship between the industry. Okay, saya faham. Saya cakap ni masih lagi on the organisation level, tapi benda ni penting untuk kita faham sebelum kita talk about personal effort, sebelum kita talk about individual effort to do industry, untuk foster relationship atau collaboration in industry. We must understand the bigger picture first. Kenapa? Sebab dia mesti ada payung dia. This big umbrella ni yang akan payung atau yang akan jadi kita punya bigger framework of our collaboration. So, kalau kita tak faham yang atas ni, there is a danger that we're going to do something which is against the rules and regulation of our university, and also not according to what university industry are expecting. So we must understand the bigger picture of the UIC or university industry collaboration. So benda ni penting lah, sebab walaupun kita mungkin tak pegang jawatan kat universiti, we are not holding any post, we are not we are not holding any post, let's say program chairman or deputy dean or dean or whatever, we are not director of any center, we are just a simple, just an academician, just a lecturer in our university. But we need to do industry collaboration, so we need to understand the bigger picture and the system that we are working with. Because you can't do okay, one thing for sure, as a staff of a university, whether public or private university, we cannot work outside the system. You understand what I'm saying? I mean, you cannot do moonlighting. You do not follow. You just do backdoor. You are doing a backdoor kind of collaboration. You can't do that because for public university, it's against the rule. It's a ethical problem. It's a disciplinary problem because for public university, you are a government servant, but you are a lecturer, of course. you want to work with industry, you must follow the process and procedures of the university. So that's why you can't separate our individual relationship working with industry from the bigger picture or the ecosystem or the framework of the university working with industry. For example, signing of MOU, signing of MOA, any transfer of funding from external parties into the university cannot go to our private account. Well, we would like to go into our private account, but we can't because that will open up. That is straight away a wrong step. It is against the ruling. So they must. So that means we must. And this is why I start off with the bigger picture, because I want us to understand that whatever collaboration that we do in the industry, it must be in line with the regulation of the university that where we're working, where we are. Yeah, where we are working, because you can't separate it. You cannot do backdoor or moonlighting or something. You cannot do the, collaboration without the endorsement of your university. Yang penting ni sebab there are, from my own experience, there are people who do making money, lots of money, doing collaboration, but did not follow the rules. So this is, but of course, if you're not caught by if your activities are not the university do not know about your activities, probably in a way you're okay in the sense that nobody punish you. But if you are caught, then it's going to be, for public university, it's going to be very detrimental to your career lah. So maknanya lagi pun tak boleh pun, mana boleh kita do, let's say during office hour, right? We are paid for the hours that we will keep. Suddenly you use the hours to do other things and get another set of payment, you know. So this is not unethical lah. Saya fikir sebagai an academic ni, kita kena always jaga benda ni lah, jaga bahawa whatever we do, we try to be ethical, maintain our integrity, our discipline, and always follow the rules and regulation lah, no matter how creative we are. Because kita ni academics, we know things. Allah SWT give us good brain, a mind to think, and we should ensure that all activities follows all procedures which have been put in place. Okay. So maknanya it's always symbiotic. So saya nak tekankan perkataan symbiotic ni. Maksud it's a symbiotic relationship. Maksud it's where every party involved gain benefits out of the relationship. Ini penting sebab kadang-kadang when we establish relationship in industry ni, kalau kita tak kena gaya sama ada kita yang dipergunakan oleh industri atau kita mempergunakan industri. Maksudnya ada manipulation on one of the parties yang taking away benefits from the other parties. Kita tak nak take advantage lah maksudnya. Kena make sure kita jaga perkara ni sebab we are going for the long haul. Kita bukan nak buat kerja ni for 1 month then we forget about it. Kita nak kerja kat ni. Let's say I'm presuming some of you, like, you have maybe another 15 years, 20 years if you are in public universities. Nowadays you're going to serve until panjang umur lah, to 60, right? You have another 15, 20 years down the road to serve until you're 60, for example. So you do not want to do buat benda yang tak elok lah, sebab dia akan kita tak tahu karma lah kalau Islam lah, tapi for some dia akan datang balik kepada kita kan, will harm us, benda-benda yang tak elok kita buat. So make sure every collaboration that we do, we try to be as ethical and we maintain our integrity. Itu tak masuk lagi bab corruption sebagainya. So itu that's another discussion for another day lah. Okay. Dan dia banyak sebenarnya, kalau the same paper that I refer to, dia banyak strategic goals, operational matters, there's the transactional matters. So it's about partnership kan. Saya rasa dia punya core about partnership. So because bila kita collaborate dengan industri ni, kita always must have a clear intention, good intention, dan kita punya partnership ni is to benefit all parties. kita kena elakkan, jangan berlaku kita keadaan yang mana we are caught. People realize that when they work with us, we are using them. Either parties lah. Either parties. In my own experience, I've been on the both. I've been not on both sides. I mean, there was one where clearly I miscalculated my actions, and I was used. I was used by the industry to get funding from the government, etc. But it's an experience for me lah kan. Maknanya kadang-kadang kita ni masa muda-muda dulu kita semangat nak collaborate, tapi kita tak perasan bahawa people are using us to get for their own benefits and we did not get anything. Tapi tak apalah, it's an enrichment process for us. Dia biasalah dalam hidup ni, we want to we want to be to learn life ni memang gitulah, kena tipu lah apa kan. Tapi I'm just sharing to you supaya tidaklah lalu jalan sama. Maknanya make sure you know what you are jumping into lah. Itu penting, you know what you are jumping into. Jangan lompat je. Bila dapat opportunity and they show you you're going to get this amount of money, this amount of money, you will jump into the collaboration, finding everything here and there, but without realizing in the long run you are on the losing end. So kena academics ni kena, I know you are, all of you are intelligent people, but we need to be strategic about things and a bit tactical about what we choose to do. Though we are eager to collaborate with industry, but we also kena ada sifat lebih memilih jugalah. We know what we want and we know what we can deliver. Okay, so if I can, so maknanya kalau dari segi university industry partnership ni, dia memang each one ada roles dan kalau kita cascade into individual so sama juga. Kita kalau on the right circle tu individual, on the right circle tu industry, sama juga. We do teaching, we do research, we do publication, we have IP, and so macam mana kita nak get this knowledge and what we produce and work with the industry. So this is the benda yang kita nak tengok lah. Kemudian both parties, sebab tu saya kata tadi, bila kita work di industri ni, kita nak both parties dapat benefits out of it. Kalau kita tengok dari segi ni, contoh macam kalau industri contohnya dia dapat company dapat direct access to good talent and expertise from the graduates that we produce. Okay, kemudian kita ada companies dia nak test new ideas. Dia tak nak buat sendiri, tapi dia work with the industry. Okay, with the universities, higher education institution. Kemudian dia nak dapat recognition. Sebab tu kalau macam tak pelik tau, macam industri datang universiti dia bagi free. Macam saya ingat masa saya dekan dulu number of years back, company datang nak bagi complete set untuk kami punya embedded control, microcontroller punya lab tu, dia nak bagi training set free. Dia kata free, without any money. We give you 20 unit free for you to use with your students. Kita universiti ni bila orang bagi free ni, kita banyak kan. Tapi sebenarnya these are new company, dia punya platform tu new, dia tak pernah, dia baru lagi kan. Jadi bila dia bagi tu, dia dapat recognition, dan our student get are now used to their product, dia punya platform. Lepas tu kita pun dah tak mau tukar lah. After that we have to buy, we have to start to buy new components sebagainya lah untuk kita keep up dia punya the use of the platform yang asalnya free tadi. So industri ni bila kita faham bahawa industri is a business entity. Bila dia work dengan university, dia punya main aim is the business punya atau increasing dia punya profit, dia punya aim, final aim lah. Kalau university ni, kita punya final aim tu bukannya we are not business entity. Kita punya aim biasanya bukan for making money. Making money tu macam second, third lah. Biasa kita nak dapat exposure, kita nak dapat nak dapat visibility, nak dapat contohnya access untuk our students to get exposure to industry. So Jadi kita punya mindset ni berbeza lah. Sebab tu bila kita cakap dengan industri, for any projects, dia punya, you can really straight away see the bahwa at the end of the day, it's not about the novelty of the technology or what. So how can this translate? How can they monetize the thing that we're doing? It's about monetization. Sebab tu now masalah hari ni kat universiti pun the top management are asking us to monetize our expertise kan. Buat short course, buat training, license our IP, macam-macam lah kan. So maknanya, tapi you can see that there are many, macam contoh, kalau tengok nombor 3, companies get to know the student before hiring them during their placement. Ini memanglah ni antara benda-benda yang industri nak. Whereas kalau universiti pula, kita ada promoting the work that specific academic labs are doing so that they can strike more funding or collaboration with industry. So you know, there are always interest. Both parties ada interest lah. Sebab tu kita kena careful juga atas dasar apa yang kita kena collaborate dengan industri. Pernah saya sebut, maksudnya kenapa kita kena collaborate dengan industri? Antara sebab satu ialah untuk dapat kita dapat to put us to ensure that we are always in touch with reality. What are the needs of the industry? Sebab at the end of the day, universiti ni kita nak produce graduates yang actually can not just have strong fundamentals, tapi mereka yang boleh add value to the income economic sector of the country lah maknanya. Jadi kita, so bila kita nak keep in touch with the reality of the day, kita kena ada close collaboration dengan industri. Satu. Dua, there are things yang kita perlu tetapi tidak ada di universiti tetapi ada di industri. Contoh macam saya kata tadi tentang equipment, tentang new sama ada hardware atau software, tentang facilities. Kadang-kadang facility tak ada di universiti tapi ada di industri untuk teaching atau untuk research sebagainya. Of course, termasuk juga funding. Contoh sekarang ni, you can see if you are like junior, I would say not junior lah, junior academics. Let's say you just joined in the last 5 years, and you are still struggling to get research funding. You can see that it's very difficult to get research funding. I'll give you an example. Recently, there was not recently, a few months back, there was a call by the ministry for Malaysia-China joint international grant. Okay, so I have a relatively strong collaboration with a few universities in China. So we write a proposal for the funding. So recently I called and I asked the ministry was a bit late in responding to our application. What was the result? So I called personally and I asked the secretariat what was the decision, and they gave me the decision lah, but it's okay. I just want to highlight that they are looking only for 8 applications, and those submitted are about 111. 111 submission for 8. They want to select only 8 final proposal to be considered for grant. So that shows, and this is imagine if you are new to the academia and you are this or maybe first or second time writing a proposal, you're fighting, you're competing with the professors, those who are more experienced, and the chances of getting grants are very difficult if you're just aiming from a ministry. So that's why the second best option is to go to the industry, because the industry, they do not work with everyone because there's so many. Normally, they will work with the selected partner, right? If you are one of the selected partner and you can propose a good solution, normally you get the funding in terms of contract research, etc. So there are things that that's why we need to make sure that we have this collaboration, because it is important in terms of to sustain our career development, and it is good for us to have this collaboration so that we are always we are not reclusive in the sense that we are not just staying in the university, but we are also interacting with the outside world, with the society, with our society-based project, and also with the industry, providing solutions to the industry, providing training to them. You know, one of the things that industry always needs are training for their technicians, training for their engineers. You know, and they cannot. I guess you give you an example. Normally, they cannot like allow the technician to go from a 6 month, let's say for 6 months, let's say leave and go and study. Yeah, because they need the same technician are needed in their ecosystem to produce products, for example. So if you can go there and produce propose a training module that can fit their schedule, that can uplift the understanding of the knowledge, understanding of their workers, their staff, technicians or engineers, or whatever, they'll normally they'll more than willing to accept the module, and this is one way of where we can help them, and they can help us in terms of money they pay for the module. So it's important for us to establish this. So in the slide later you can, it is in public domain, but I've extracted some points. You can have the slides later lah, okay. And then there are a number of university industry collaboration that you can consider. For example, education ni quite common kalau macam kita mengajar undergraduate students, even postgraduate students. Sometimes we need to interact with the industry because we want to provide exposure, industry exposure to the students of the industry workings, how the industry processes, etc., so that the students are in touch with what they read in the textbooks and what they're going to face outside when they go and work in the industry. Okay, so education is one sector, and in the education you can also have this symbiotic kind of where we invite guest lectures, you give lectures to the industry professionals, etc. So it's a two-way street lah. Dan ini satu options lah, and there are monetary and non-monetary activities in here. There are situations, and you must bear in mind, if industry setup will only be willing to provide monetary reward if they can see the ROI is clear from there. I've personally on my own experience, I've never seen a company pay money, just for the sake of goodwill lah, bayar goodwill. Dia bagi duit tu memang ada sebab they can see a good ROI in investment based on what they gave. Whether you give training, you give product, you help them to solve their problems. So there are clear exchange of goods, quote unquote lah. Okay. And then you talk about commercialization. This is another way related to creating companies, value products, solution like commercial exploitation, both ways. Sometimes you have products which are fit into the company kind of array of products that they already have, and they can upgrade their list with your technology or your product. And normally there's a commercial interest there. Okay, and then staff development, professional development, lifelong learning of academic industry profession. This is a typical, quite an obvious path where academic like yourself can establish relationship with industry, providing training. Training doesn't mean not necessarily means 2, 3, 5, 6 month kind of work. No, maybe 1 day, 2 day training, short courses, intensive course, and vice versa. And there are many topics, especially nowadays. There's so many things being, so many new technology coming up. Sometimes the industry may not have the time to, they don't have the luxury of time to go and read up on the things. Whereas we probably are taking it and using it in our classes. We can now conduct short courses. Okay, so there are many ways. And now for research and development, collaborative research between higher education institution and industry. Also public engagement lah. Macam kita buat macam social event, community service, and with collaboration with the academic and industry, working for environment, working for society. So maksudnya there are many types of academic industry collaborations at the organization level and also at the individual level. Of course, today we are talking at the individual level lah, because this is what we can do. Unless you are holding a post, for example, you ada jabatan ke, dekan ke, probably you higher and higher, there are bigger things that you can do. But as long as you are like, I'm just like myself, I'm just an academics. I'm not holding any post, so I need to look out for ways of how I can do more collaboration with the industry. Okay. So maksudnya kalau kita nak enhance, there are certain practices, techniques, strategies untuk enhance industry, university industry collaborations. Macam-macam lah, kalau boleh baca lah kat sini kan. Macam kalau industri apa dia boleh buat. Contohnya kalau industri dia boleh form strategic partnership. Ini untuk industri, not for you. For the industry, they invite academics to do short-term consulting work, sponsor student, lepas tu dia start collaboration macam internship. Ini banyak lah yang buat ni. Kemudian adjunct professor daripada universiti kerja buat industrial attachment ke industri. Macam kat USM ni ada juga beberapa cara kami buat internship dekat sabbatical dekat Intel lah, all the MNCs, some of the MNCs. They want to get exposure direct with the workings of the industry. Ini untuk industri lah, tapi kalau untuk kita banyak lagi. So some university dia banyak kaedah lah cara, tapi ni banyaknya organisation, nanti bila tuan-tuan ada peluang baca, these are typically for organizational kind of strategies, top level strategies. But actually, you can go to one by one. There are some that you can implement individually. Macam contoh, involving a younger researcher into the project from an early stage. Maksudnya kita boleh approach. Okay, saya cerita pengalaman saya setakat ni, saya tak banyak sangat collaboration industry, tapi ada lah. I've done with class, I've done with Petronas, I've done with at least 2 private company, 1 international company. Kemudian setakat itulah, adalah tu lagi kecil-kecil lain kan. Tapi adalah, tapi kebanyakannya kita punya inisiatif. Kita approach them, there are cases they approach me, tapi kita agree with the problems. Ini tak ada pun, tak ada input from organisation, tak adalah pengarah Center of University Industry Collaboration come, for example, boleh tak tolong ni Steve punya then bila dah settle on the framework tu, apa nak buat, baru kita approach university untuk do the formalities. Tapi it all start with the champions lah. Maksud kita kena make effort. Normally kita lah, kalau kita kena make effort untuk get to know people. That's why untuk foster relationship ni always start with us building, knowing each other, atau get to know the person from the industry. Sebab tu kalau macam saya tak berapa yakin lah bila MOU yang ditandatangani atau universiti dan industri yang ditandatangani ni tapi tidak ada champion. Dia dalam semua collaboration ni, dalam masa saya ialah dia mesti ada champion dia. Maksud dia seorang individual, at least seorang individual daripada universiti dan seorang individual daripada industri yang know each other, that can work together. Once you have the champion, the MOU or the MOA can fly up. Tapi kalau universiti dengan universiti dan industri dia write MOU and nobody know each other, now tahu secara organizationnya, insyaAllah MOU tu tak di mana lah, dia akan stay as MOU and nothing will happen after that. So it's critical that staff get to know from academia, industry get to know each other. Get to know dia macam-macam cara. Macam-macam cara. You can request a visit to the industry. Saya remember, saya nak share, saya punya pengalaman dengan Plus. Saya sampai hari ini masih buat collaboration dengan Plus robotik. Initially, I went to Plus ni cerita dalam 15 tahun lepas ni. Ya, 15 tahun lepas. So I went to Plus punya office di KL tu. Because not because I know anybody, but because my friend want to meet his friend who's in the engineering section in Plus. So I joined him lah. So just jumpa lah kat KL lah, jumpa. Then suddenly we talk about projects, opportunities, and after that one leads to another. Now I'm already in the cycle of project with Plaza currently. So maksudnya, and bear in mind, I was not even a friend initially with the guy. I was just joining my friend who's met, he went to meet his friend. So now we are friends, of course. But cerita kan, you have to go and go your apa kena kita lah kena create the initiative to meet them. And bear in mind there are so many problems. Masalah kecil sampai masalah besar lah dalam industri, dan I can guarantee you will be excited about it. You can probably you have some solution for them. So macam itulah. Okay. So saya pun tak nak, sebenarnya nak bincang lah, nak bagi peluang kita bincang. So there some factors need again from the slides from the papers that I got, which I think is relevant for us. 7 factors and personal skills necessary for successful collaborations between us and the industry. Okay. Pertama yang paling penting lah trust lah. We trust each other. We trust you know the other party and the other party knows you kan. Macam saya dengan, I think kalau pengalaman saya dengan Plus, so now we become friends lah. Not just because of the project. Even without project pun kami keep in touch lah. Tanya khabar sebagainya lah, sebab the relationship transformed from just mere relationship between academic industry to friendship lah, mere friendship between friends. So maksudnya kalau tak ada project pun we are still friends. So, macam kawan kita kenal kawan kan. Asalnya based on project. So tapi yang penting adalah dia build trust, kepercayaan bahawa both parties are genuine dalam interest dia untuk make it happen. Sebab tu bagi saya it's good for you to know many industries, but you're going to see many kind of people, different type of people. Dan kadang-kadang nampak macam betul sebenarnya they're trying to make use of us. Ada tu nampak macam tak berapa nak sebenarnya okay. So you have to, through your experience through our experience and trust. Kedua, experience in both fields. Maknanya kalau kita ada industry experience, kita dulu pernah kerja industri, it helps us a lot lah. Sebab kita tahu the mindset of industry people. Dan kalau macam saya ni, saya tak pernah kerja industri properly lah. Interaction tu ada. Pernahlah kerja bertahun-tahun di industri. Jadi you have to learn the industry mindset through all the activity interaction that you had before. Jadi tapi kalau kita ada memang ada industry experience, working in industry, memang advantage to us. Tapi the whole point of this second item is to highlight that we must understand each other lah, because yalah, bila kita faham bahawa kita boleh percaya, kita boleh trust. Trust does not float in the air, and dia ada dunia foundation dia. Kenapa macam kita boleh trust? Sebab kita kenal dia, sebab kita faham cara kerja dia. We know the company, we know the project, we understand. So the understanding tu and the experience that we had akan, of course, akan strengthen our. Kemudian kita ada project manager skill ni, cakap pasal ni sendiri lah. Okay, working with industry ni, kita kena really manage our project well. Dia tak boleh macam, okay, kita kan ada pengalaman mohon buat projek dengan bawah mohi ke bawah mosti kan. Kalau tak boleh kita buat extension kan, mohon pelanjutan. Dan masalah yang genuine, yang betul memang masalah, we ask for extension for example, right? Tapi dengan industri ni, dia orang tak punya window of opportunity atau window untuk tolerate all this exception are very small lah. Sebab dia industri, dia punya cycle, technology cycle, novel and expiry of novelty ni dia very fast kan. Jadi dia ada how we manage our projects are important. So listening to, contohnya kalau kita buat kerja di industri, kita selalu faham dia punya, selalu dapatkan feedback. We always relay our issues to them so that they understand the situation, and we can together make amends and to ensure that the project are completed on time, for example. Kemudian kita personal relationship ni penting lah. Dia tak boleh, sebab when we deal with industry, though the industry are bangunan, besi, kayu sebagainya, tapi we are actually working, dealing with human beings. So jadi ialah engineers, kadang-kadang dia punya head officers, kadang-kadang dia punya senior engineers who are given a project that they need to do, and we are assisting them. Sometimes we are doing the project for them, the contract research kind of framework. So the personal relationship is important, because sometimes the success of project depends on the amount of information that we have about the circumstances. Kalau dia withhold certain information, kadang-kadang project tu dia tak dapat diselesaikan sebab that critical information are not being relayed to us. So, personal relationship ni penting. Kemudian mindset, communication, understanding. Satu lagi tak sebutkan legal agreements lah. Legal agreements ni saya ambil tahu pada rakan-rakan pensyarah akademik. If you work with industry, you do not take lightly the legal agreements. Legal agreements is a fundamental element. No matter how good the relationship, let's say you know a person named, let's say A is a guy, your best friend in industry. He's a head of research, example, innovation in that company. You are the researcher in the university and you agree to a project, this amount of money, blah blah blah, and then they produce a legal document, you sign without really going through it. No, this is very dangerous for you, especially. So you have to be careful, and vice versa lah. The industry, normally the industry, they are very critical about all legal documents because, you know, when things turns bad, you know, friendship sometimes goes out of the window, and they start to go to the documents, formal documents. For example, I'll give you an example. In a project that I've entered into, the project I have entered into, it is clearly stated there in the document that if the project did not meet the objective of the project, the researcher need to return all the money provided in the project. This is a very strong worded statement and very strong implication, big implication for the researcher, right? Because we know when you do research, not necessarily you're going to get good results. Sometimes the results are not good. But from research perspective, the result is useful. But from the project with industry perspective, no, not good, cannot go. So you have to pay. So if you do not realize the existence of that clause in the agreement, you are in trouble. For example, so that means whatever projects that you want to go in with the industry, make sure the legal agreements are there. And that's why this again highlighted the fact that you cannot do backdoor kind of agreement, because at the end of the day, you're going to get in trouble yourself twice. First, when the project not committed. Second, when the company sue you and the university will not cover you because you did it on your own, and you might get disciplinary action. So legal agreements is important, and vice versa. Please, when the university the industry have provided with all the facilities, they give you the money, they give you the support, and you fail to deliver the product due to your mistakes, I think this is very irresponsible for us lah. So we need to be transparent with them. We need to update the industry of what's the progress of the project that we are doing for them, especially when they have invested money. So we have to maintain our integrity, be ethical about it, be professional about it. But the point number 8 is that there must be clear legal agreements. Do not enter. This is a reminder from a senior or junior staff that please ensure that you have the legal agreement in place, clearly stated the roles and responsibility for each party. Do not go and take risks when there are no legal agreement and university are not there to support. Okay, and then of course, when you have funded projects, you need to ensure that you work collaboratively with the industry to ensure that the projects are successful. And then focus on deliverables. This is important because you know, industry, as I said, the industry is a business entity. Typically, they talk about profit, they talk about return of investment, they talk about each single cent that they invest to you, they are projecting a return in terms of the ROI clearly. And if you cannot deliver, make sure you get it clearly right from the onset. Do not promise that do not over-promise, because when you over-promise, you're going to you will invite yourself on the path of a lot of troubles. And once you do that, you create you limit the number of projects that you can get probably there's no more project from the industry because what you've done now. So probably you have another 15 years, but imagine 15 years without any industry project. So it's not going to be good for your career development and your own personal development as an academic. Okay? Of course, number 11 is if you're working with industry which is close to you, it's a plus. For example, if I work with industry in Penang, I'm in Seberang Perai Selatan, and then the company is in Penang, it's nearby, so there's no issue for me to go and do a regular consultation. But if you're here, for example, in myself in Penang and the company is in Johor Bahru, let's say Mersing, for example, let's say discussion Mersing lah. There's such industry Mersing, but in Mersing, I imagine if I want to commute, if I want to go there, say every week, for example, every 2 weeks, it's still a hassle because it takes maybe 8 hours, 10 hours to go to Mersing, down there, or maybe 7 hours or 8 hours driving. So proximity is important juga, sebab kita dan selalunya company yang kita buat projek ni, kita dah biasa visit mereka, dah biasa pergi, dah biasa buat industry visit, so we already have the relationship. Remember, as I said earlier, that a successful academic industry relationship is always because there is a champion. There is somebody who's going to ensure that from the academic perspective side and also the industry side that the project will be successful. They try their best lah. Dia tak boleh macam MOU ni, masa MOA tu the boss of the VC of this university sign with the CEO of this company. They sign and then they appoint this guy and the VC appoint this lecturer as a champion, this company appoint this engineer as a champion, and you work together. It's going to be very difficult to make it a success because there's no chemistry. You do not know you still cannot, you have not really connect with the person. You do not know how you can work with him. So ini antara benda lah. So finally, I think okay, just 2 more slides, then I will end, then we can discuss. So tips for facilitate collaboration ni maksudnya create a cooperative environment, frequent progress reviews you discuss, then ensure that okay, satu lagi confidentiality and IP discussion. Normally, typically, you don't have to sign that non-disclosure agreement, NDA, and this is nothing to be scared of. Memang kena sign lah to protect both parties from you using what you know about the industry and the industry using what you know about industry using it without your knowledge. So you have to sign NDA to cover both parties lah. Tapi kita biasa akademik ni, kita jarang sign NDA ni kalau kita buat collaboration. Tak tahu lah, kalau mungkin tuan-tuan mesti tak tahu lah, kalau saya jarang lah. Kecuali saya buat kerja industri, biasa kita akan sign NDA. Bila? Masa kita punya discussion stage. Because masa discussion stage ni, kita banyak bagi pandangan. Kadang-kadang pandangan tu actually confidential. And normally when they want to make us understand the problem, they have to tell us many things which is confidential from the industry perspective. So itu guna sign NDA, non-disclosure agreement. Then as I said again, bila kita buat collaboration tu bawah framework university, kita ada university untuk support us. Atau legal, kita ada pejabat undang-undang, kita ada holdings yang akan bantu kita untuk facilitate our collaboration. Kalau boleh involve pada awal, jangan only bring the legal at the end. Sebab nanti kadang-kadang kita dah agree banyak benda sebenarnya against the process, against the rules and regulations. So kita kena, if we can get the much earlier, much better lah. Okay. Kemudian contohnya acknowledge roles and objective, mutual respect and trust within the team. I think we have mentioned this trust issue. Retain full transparency. I think bila kita ni secara jujurnya tak boleh nak, difficult to be very transparent on everything. Macam contoh lah, industri datang jumpa kita tanya, do you have the facility? Back in our mind, memang ada facility tapi taklah complete sangat. Tapi normally kita akan kata, we have the facility. Walaupun ayat tu umum kan, walaupun sebenarnya kita pergi balik facility ada, tapi actually we need some more things to complete the facility. Tapi maksudnya, tapi seeloknya as much as possible kita kena be transparent with the industry, and vice versa lah, kita expect them also transparent with us. So sebab tu dia, before we really go into a successful collaboration, itulah saya kata dia banyak benda. You build bridges, you build trust, you build relationship, you build understanding before you jump into agreement, etc. Because if you start everything dengan agreement saja, start agreement dulu, Normally susah lah sebab bila agreement ni dia ada banyak benda do and don'ts. Biasa kita nak relationship ni belum apa ada do and don'ts lah. Kita normally kita back off lah. Kita rasa takut lah. Jadi, tapi eloknya kita bina the relationship first. At the personal level. Because actually any project ni dia ada orang yang nampak dia. Dia kena ada the movers, and the movers are us. So we have both from the academia industry. So these movers must be able to work together. Kalau tak nanti projek tu tak jadi lah. So I think at this point ni saya rasa kita nak summarize kan, that we can discuss lah. So collaboration with industry is important for academics. Itu for sure. We must have collaborations. Dan saya rasa dalam kita punya bin, the career path punya bin tu, tak kisahlah you pilih researcher path ke, teaching path ke, professional path atau leadership path, dia selalunya dia hanya bottom line tu dia mesti ada collaboration with industry or society. Saya slash society sebab there are certain degree yang certain domain of knowledge yang sebenarnya dia tak adalah industri dia tu society. Dia macam orang engineering, macam saya bidang electronics, robotics, saya memang industri, kita industri lah, not society as a whole. Tapi ada macam social scientist, dia punya industri tu not the industry that yang manufacturing industry, tapi lebih pada society itself. Okay. Now, all collaboration will have implication to an academic career progression, to a person academic career progression. Itu memang pastilah. Bila kita buat collaboration, memang dia akan ada implications. Implication dari segi masa yang kita gunakan, implication daripada pengalaman yang kita gunakan, implication dari segi impact dia. Contohnya kita produce patent, kita bring money into the universities. Nowadays, I was informed that in my university, someone informed me that professors, dia kata professors now, once you're a professor, your job now is to bring money into the university. So saya dengar tu saya pun risau sebab when they ask professors to bring money into university, they are not looking at 100,000 or 200,000, I presume million lah. Jadi kita rasa risau lah. Tapi maknanya collaboration ni ada impact dia. Then kadang-kadang because our position tu, we are expected to do collaboration. And there's no way out of it. So ini kita kena ni lah. Then academicians or academic must be strategic in their industry academic activities. When you look to the industry, there are many things that you can do in industry, tapi kena be strategic about it. Kena cari yang impactful to your university, to your interest, dan juga ada impact pada industri lah. Kalau I know of some of my friends yang dia memang fokus training, macam training dia bagi short courses, tapi dia tak buat research about short courses, tapi for him happy enough, they make money, they assist industry are happy with him, tapi dia tak buat lain, tapi dia banyaklah buat training kan, dia pun happy kan. Training dia benda yang memang dia tahu, dia pun dapat extra income, industri pun dapat extra income, contoh lah. Tapi be strategic. Means that you should not just jump into any opportunity lah. Tengoklah juga kan. Jangan main asal ada opportunity je masuk. Asal itu sedangkan doesn't fit into your bigger picture of your career planning, dan dia juga tak fit dengan you punya expertise contohnya, the domain of interest. So kemudian solid academic profile, credential and visibility are critical. I mean, if you want the industry to work with you, you must have a visible and solid academic credential. Maksudnya, kalau dia Google your name tu nampaklah PM Dr. Rashidan, dia Google keluar dengan UK punya collaboration, macam-macam nampak. Very credible. Barulah dia want to reach out to you. Tapi kalau macam tak nampak apa kan, Google tak keluar benda pelik-pelik. Macam mana orang nak, how do you build the trust from the industry? So maksudnya macam contoh LinkedIn kan. LinkedIn ni maksudnya kalau kita ni kalau nak work industri kena dah visible lah dalam LinkedIn tu, sebab situ banyak industry players dan academic players lah, tapi industry players significant. Contoh lah. So you have to build your visibility to the industry profile. Lepas tu we must try as much as possible to ensure that all collaboration that we do in the industry are in line with the big agenda of your personal agenda, also the big agenda lah of the organization agenda. Dia macam ni. We want in our life, we want to do many things. Memang we want to do. I want to do that. Kalau tanya saya umur dalam 51 ni, saya nak buat ni, saya nak buat ni, saya nak buat, tetapi we know our resources are limited. So we have to select with the time that what we have now, what we can do for this time. Walau kita nak buat macam-macam. Sama juga when we work with industry, you talk to many industry, you have to ensure that the collaboration that you want to embark into must fit into your big agenda. Jangan masuk itu kan. Asal-asal ada je, tak boleh lah. Mula-mula tu tak apalah, tapi as you grow in your career, you must be a bit more selective to ensure that it has the biggest impact. Itu penting. Okay, and finally, bila you enter any relationship dengan industri ni, kita nak ensure that it's a betterment of all parties. Dia bukan, mesti saya kata tadi, bukan, it shouldn't be detrimental to any parties. Maksudnya ada yang rugi lah. Semua gain benefit from the collaboration. That's the best one. So saya rasa itu perkongsian ringkas saya. Tapi I would really encourage you to go and meet the industry players related to your field, talk to them, listen to them. Jadi kita ni bila ke industri, kita nak cakap apa boleh buat, saya boleh buat ni, saya boleh buat. Sebenarnya itu second priority. The first priority is you to listen, to listen to their grievances, listen to their issues, listen to their problems. Kadang-kadang bila saya pergi dekat company digital, kami dalam automation pro, kami ni ada masalah ni. You jawab not down je. Then balik kan, you realize that dia banyak ruang untuk you assist dan you join, you masuk sebagai buat joint project, consultancy project, contract research, macam-macam lah. Then informing them what you can do is secondary. For me, we must seek, saya selalu kata kat orang, you must seek to understand before to be understood. Understand before to be understood. Maksudnya you need to understand industry before people can appreciate what you can do for them, and vice versa lah. So saya rasa saya akan stop dekat situ. It's about really about so I pass back to the Rashdan if we can do any issues or any question that I can respond to. Masih Dr. Rashdan? I stop share now.
Terima kasih, Prof. Alright, thank you very much, Prof. Rizal, again for the wonderful sharing. Jadi we have about 17 minutes more. Kita buka kepada question and answer daripada audience pada pagi ni. Okay, ada sesiapa nak bertanya soalan? Soalan boleh ditanya, sama ada boleh buka je mikrofon terus tanya, because we are small crowd today, jadi senang untuk kita discuss lah. Ataupun kalau susah nak buka mic, boleh type dekat chat box and saya boleh bacakan. Ada tak soalan? Okay, kalau sementara kita tunggu soalan daripada audience, macam biasalah saya ada soalan lah untuk Prof. Apa about visibility, LinkedIn, creating your profile. I think 5 years down the career baru boleh assemble a good profile, Prof. Based on experience, based on grants kita dapat, projek yang terlibat. How about untuk orang yang baru setahun, 2 tahun habis PhD, dia belum ada credible profile lagi, tapi dia berminat dengan industri. Jadi adakah dia perlu jangan fokus lagi untuk cari collaborator industri, fokus on membina reputation dan profile dulu, baru after 5 or 6 years start reaching out to industry?
Okay, bagus soalan dia. Saya nak cerita pengalaman saya sendiri. Masa saya balik join USM tahun 1999 tu, of course I've never worked seriously in the industry. Ada interaction, of course masa UK mana ada kan buat degree, master, PhD semua, dan balik kan. So masa 99 tu kalau saya I did not straight away work with industry, but I was invited to work with industry by my senior, my dean masa tu. My dean tu dia ada satu projek dengan, if I remember, di Kulim High Tech Park. Kalau siapa tahu Kulim High Tech Park, dia ada satu techno center there. Techno center ni satu facility dekat, sekarang ada lah dekat Techno Kulim tu, yang mana mereka nak buat techno center ni become a fabrication center or the provide macam fabrication facility, nak buat CNC cutting, robotik lah, macam-macam kan. Plastic molding, dia punya tu lah, techno center tu. I remember my dean invite me to join. So I joined as one of the jururunding untuk provide what's facility for the automation lab. So masa tu maksudnya gini, masa mula-mula ni lah role kita ni, kita memang tak boleh on our own lagi. Terutama kalau kita tak ada experience dengan industri. Lepas tu I was lucky in a sense that my dean invite me. So I was in the project for 3 years. 3 years kot. Project 3 years. Sebab the project tu lama. Masa tu dia banyak bangunan tak ada lagi. Techno center it was from scratch, kita propose sebagainya kan. So I got a lot of experience lah. Lepas tu he invited me to work with Petronas masa tu. Petronas masa tu nak buat EPP. EPP tu dia masa tu nak buat. Jadi mereka ada makmal automation, makmal robotik sebagainya. So masa tu lah my team masa tu get me involved, and about 20 of us, 10 of us masa tu. Jadi saya nak kita kan, memang masa mula-mula ni memang kita kena get experience by getting ourselves attached with others lah, because we cannot go alone, because we don't have the potentials yet. As a person who is from the industry perspective credible enough to work with them. Tapi sebab tu saya rasa for junior staff ni, for us yang baru less than 5 years join akademia ni, sebab tu kita sebolehnya kita get our mentors, get our deans, and this is the role of the seniors lah, untuk pull the juniors kan. Itulah saya rasa I was lucky back then lah, sebab bila lepas tu I was more confident lah to do collaboration on my own, because sebab kita dah kita dah ada experience kan. Imagine kalau saya balik-balik ini tu nak pergi Petronas nak minta projek, siapa nak dengar kan? there's no proof of dari segi that I'm able to deliver. So maksudnya kalau okay, satu, the process of building your visibility, credibility tu kena ongoing process lah. Normally kalau some of us yang lucky now masa buat PhD atau masa dia buat projek yang industry based, so you can highlight buat short abstract dalam you punya personal website dan sebagainya, describing. And for me, visibility ni bukan maksud sangat your online visibility, tapi you visible to the company through your interactions. You attend industry based conference, you reach out to the company. Itu yang visibility yang saya maksudkan. This yang walaupun contoh saya bagi tadi online visibility, the LinkedIn, Facebook sebagainya, tapi yang the most basic is people from industry know that you are in that field. Macam you are in the field of IC industry, people in Intel know that you are in the field. At least some of the senior design engineers, they know that. For example, Dr. Rashida contoh lah, I know it's not your field. IC design, don't know, Dr. Rashida ni, dia memang bidang ni. So that's your visibility lah. So two things lah. Satu, if you can build continuing process of building your credibility, visibility. Dua, is if you can get yourself attached to your mentors, seniors yang akan get you involved with projects. Kadang-kadang kena pro bono kok, maksudnya apa, saya tak bayar, saya nak experience je. There are people like that. Dia nak join tu memang tak nak dia. Although people are getting money on it, tapi dia tak pasal nak join to experience. Itu kalau you to that level memang hebat lah. Sebab experience is not cheap and it's not easy. Not everybody get the experience. So you have to find ways to get it lah. Itulah Dr. Sinan.
Okay, thank you Prof. Ada soalan daripada Dr. Hanis. Prof, kalau nak collaborate dengan industri, bagaimana nak approach dengan bidang kepakaran kita? Terutamanya bagi pensyarah baru, industri belum kenal lagi. Apa pendekatan untuk nak mulakan collaboration? So, Prof ada juga mention contoh-contoh tadi kan, contohnya macam hadir conference, semua tu kan. Apa lagi cara-cara lain yang kita boleh actively try to do?
Dia macam ni, sebab tu saya rasa kita punya effort untuk engage industry, it cannot be an individual effort sahaja. It's good kalau dia dimulakan oleh organisation yang punya arrangement. Maksudnya macam ni, maksudnya contoh saya USM dah ada collaboration MOU dengan let's say company X kan, dia dah buat collaboration. Lepas tu kita follow up dengan staff engineers and at our level lah untuk start discussion. So biasa dia akan mula macam tu, bukannya jarang, walaupun tak saya, biasa itu lebih mudah lagi lah bila dah dimulakan oleh organisation level punya engagement, MOU, whatever lah. Atau kita buat industry visit. Saya ingat dulu masa saya ditekan dulu tahun 2016 tu. Saya pernah maklum kat staff saya kata, every month you must do at least 2 industry visit. Maksudnya bukan visit student tau. You write to the company, you want to visit the company. Tak mesti big company, MNCs, SMEs within your domain, just to talk to them. And there are people yang dalam masa tu, school akan cover the sebab ini dekat. Kami akan bayar the mileage. Tak mahal pun, dalam RM100 je. Jadi staff ada yang punya. So, decide lah company, dia write to the company, and company akan tell you, terutama SMEs yang yalah tengoklah kan, yang bidang, normally they are very open for you to visit. But they also want to know why you are interested to visit them. So you visit them, write to them. Bagi saya, kita kena make the move. Macam Dr. Hanis, you cannot wait for your dean untuk beritahu. You make the move, write email. Now senang, write email, you message Facebook ke whatever lah kan. Dia macam orang cakap ni Facebook lah, tak pandai TikTok apa kan, Facebook ke apa kan. Jadi, so you must make the move, tapi kalau you cari, kalau boleh yang dah ada organizational punya arrangement macam MOU, ataupun dia ada, atau you ada, satu lagi saya encourage kalau new lecturer ni, you go and volunteer for the student internship visit. Itu memang kena buat. Kalau lebih banyak apa, kadang-kadang lecturer baru ni dia rasa macam dia victimized. Orang lecturer senior pergi satu company, 2 company, kami sampai 10 company. Bagi saya tak ada masalah, you go for 10 companies. Sebab you purposely want to go and see and get to know the people in there. Sebab tu saya selalu kata kat pesantren baru jangan rasa ni macam kes ni lah kot, HO ni MO kat hospital kan. Kena dera, kena pergi company. Masa saya dulu, pergi je. Sebab you want to be visible, you want to know your industry. So pergi. So bagi saya kalau nak cakap data ni, you make the first move. You can email them, go, and kalau mungkin kalau ada first time, mungkin cari dulu company-company yang your university dah ada MOU atau your school dah ada, faculty dah ada MOU, and follow up from that. It's easier lah. Sebab dah ada initiative mula. Kalau company tu tak pernah dengar you punya school, university pun payah juga kan, atau your faculty. So macam itulah data ni.
Okay, thank you bro. Ada soalan lagi tak? Kalau tak ada, saya tengok lagi satu. Okay bro, kalau kita tengok dekat Europe, US, especially UK, industri dengan akademia ni sangat kawan baik lah. Kan dia orang cakap sponsor PhD student lagi. At the end of the study, dia dapat the result and also produk apa yang dia nak lah. Kalau di Malaysia, we don't see that happening. We can also say that industry is a bit reluctant to invest dollars and cents lah, ataupun ringgit dan sen di Malaysia sebab I think they don't have the sufficient trust yang academia can deliver. Okay? Jadi they cannot risk untuk rugi sebab dia melibatkan investment dan sebagainya kan. Jadi sebab trust lah, it's a trust issue lah kan sebenarnya. Jadi macam mana, how do we want to approach this apa kita kata trust issue ni supaya kita ni dapat sama level dengan Europe yang memang dah selesai lama dah trust issue ni.
Ya, saya rasa ada beberapa dimension lah respon tu. Satu ialah this nature of industry commission ni. Industry commission nature dia kalau kat yang asalnya is manufacturing sector. Bila manufacturing sector ni dia punya is not much on R&D lah. Troubleshooting je sebenarnya. So jadi in fact masa saya ingat kalau 10 years ago hampir tiada lah research center, even MNCs pun dekat Penang ni. Kalau ada pun dia call research center pun, research pun dia macam troubleshooting je. Research ni maksud generating new knowledge, new technology. Saya ingat lagi ada company, saya ingat nama, tak tahu sebut nama pun, tapi maksudnya dia ada research center, tapi saya check, saya tanya balik, bukan research center pun. Nama research center tu dengan alat rosak nak bagi di mana. So satu faktor susuk atau bukan susuk, maksudnya structure of the economy kat Malaysia ni masih lagi strongly on manufacturing. Cuma lately banyak MNC dah start to create dia punya research center macam Intel, Motorola, all the MNC. Masa tu kita see the importance of where they need to do research, tetapi ketika tu dia ada masalah sebab dia punya engineer are not trained to become researcher. So masa itulah for the last few years kita nampak industry start to approach university untuk provide buat PhD industry to upgrade dia punya engineer yang degree ke masters. Macam USM ada buat dengan banyak few MNCs kat Penang untuk upgrade master by course. Lepas tu dia start to do PhD because they want to get the skill of do research. Jadi bagi saya maybe a few years ke depan ni you're going to get more opportunities for research funded punya from industry if more companies are willing to set up their research center here lah. Itu pertama. Yang kedua ialah trust issue ni memang betul lah, memang betul. Saya ingat kalau saya ada robotic solution lah, kalau saya pergi present kat industri ni mungkin walaupun janggut saya putih, dia tak apa nak percaya lah. Tapi kalau saya suruh kawan saya orang putih pergi present, mungkin dia punya trust jauh lebih tinggi lah sebab dia apa ni, orang yang buka, mana yang nampak Saleh yang present kan, padahal mungkin kita present tu benda sama atau lebih baik lagi. So memang trust issue ni is a real lah. Tapi bagi saya sebab tu we have to work with industry ni dia on a personal level. Maksudnya kita ada champion dia. Because kalau kita work organization level memang susah lah nak overcome the trust. Tapi kalau kita work at the personal level, kita know the head of research kat sana, they know us, we invite him or her to our lab, see our work, we provide samples, we provide short-term solution, small solution to issue some of the issues. And when you have the trust, I think because you know, you cannot buy trust, right? You cannot, how you buy trust? You cannot macam trust ni cannot be forced upon. So awak tak boleh, awak kena percaya kat saya, mana boleh kan? Trust is something that you build upon through interaction sebagainya. Jadi memang tak ada, I don't think there's any shortcut lah. Kalau kita nak dapat project from semacam kat Europe tu, because there are different, dia punya struktur ekonomi dia, industri slightly, to me it looks different lah. So dia memang go for this IP patent sebagainya, commercialization of the patent. So memang saya tak pelik lah dia punya banyak research funding for industry. Satu lagi dia punya grant giving macam Mosti, Muhir kita pun yang lain. Dia ada EAST22 lah sebagainya yang memang bias toward industry application. So memang itu pun akan ada effect lah. Itu pandangan saya lah.
Okay, one final question, Prof. Setiap universiti rasanya ada pusat jaringan industri ataupun a portfolio under one of the TNC ataupun PNC. Jadi kadang-kadang pensyarah ni kita tak tahu pun apa function and bagaimana pusat jaringan industri ni dapat membantu dalam kerja-kerja networking with industry lah. Termasuklah saya pun lah. Okay. Jadi what can we expect daripada pusat jaringan industri ni, macam mana kita boleh approach dia orang dan minta tolong in what scope of collaboration networking tu Prof?
Ya, game macam ni. Saya kenal yang UPNM, Dr. Muhammad Abu Ubaidah, head of the UIC.
Kenal.
Because we were in a conference minggu lepas. So saya kenal dia lah. Anyway, itu different story lah. For another day. Cuma saya rasa macam ni. One way where you can immediately get the help of UIC is when you already know, you get to know one company, and the one company dia nak move forward with the collaboration, and then you have to engage your UIC lah. Sebab normally UIC akan assist dari segi formation of the MOU, MOA, and discuss actually all the legal issues. Ini memang peranan UIC sebab UIC itu peranan dia. Sebab normally sepatutnya begini, sepatutnya UIC dia yang cari kemudian dia cari opportunity for collaboration, dan dia dapat the same opportunity, dia akan beda-beda lah, dia akan cari siapa yang boleh mengikat sepatut itu. Tapi ialah kadang-kadang kita faham tak, kadang-kadang UIC nama UIC kadang-kadang dia staff, mungkin another staff, 2 orang atau 3 orang je, and look after the university. So yang ada let's say 1,000 orang staff. So tak boleh lah expect dia tolong cek kita. Jadi bagi saya yang to be practical about it, kita yang kena be aktif, dan bila kita rasa benda ni ada potensi untuk move forward, dan masa tu kita bring UIC in untuk assist us dari segi. Sebab kadang-kadang satu lagi, kita jangan pandai-pandai satu ni pandai-pandai macam ni. Bila kita pergi industri, dia tanya kita pasal proses. Macam mana nak formalize, kita pun goreng kita punya, padahal tak tahu pun sebenarnya, kita agak-agak je, tak boleh. Bila kita tak sure, kita guide the UIC personnel, the head untuk bantu kita lah, untuk selesaikan benda tu. Saya rasa itulah Dr. Rashida, sebenarnya boleh je, tapi jangan macam ni lah, jangan put so much hope pada kita punya UIC lah. Betul, macam UIC pun berapa orang je nak jaga staff UIC dekat 3,000 lecturer. Mati lah kan, dia nak cari for us project kan. So macam itulah.
Okay, thank you Prof. Ada lagi one final question?
Saya boleh tak? Sekejap.
Sila.
Okey, saya Azmat daripada UTM. Okey, terima kasih Prof atas panjang lebar Prof yang explanation tadi tu Prof. Okey, kita tengok memang banyak cabaran dia dengan universiti dengan industri ni, especially perception industri pada universiti jugalah dan juga researcher. Cuma satu je Prof, mungkin seringkah yang boleh Prof. Adakah mungkin industri dia fikir dia punya teknologi dia lebih advance daripada universiti dan juga knowledge. Jadi itu sebabnya mungkin salah satu faktor kenapa diorang ni tak pandang sangat universiti ni. Apa komen Prof ni?
Sebenarnya betul. Sebenarnya betul bagi sektor tertentu. Tapi kalau saya cakap macam bidang saya bidang robotic control. Dalam bidang control tak. Dalam bidang control sebenarnya akademik well far advanced, tetapi dalam bidang control dia ada PID control. Saya bagi contoh lah, PID control ni is the most reliable and well used control approach di industri. Sedangkan dalam bidang control ni banyak advanced control, visibility lah, all the sliding surface control. Maksudnya dalam bidang tertentu memang industri well advanced from the university. Sebab apa? Sebab kita tak ada equipment. Tapi kita tahu theoretically. Tapi ada bidang tertentu yang universiti tak nak invest. Saya beri contoh satu lagi. Contoh bidang robotik. Bidang robotik ni, kalau bidang oil and gas sector, dia banyak guna remotely operated vehicle yang robot dalam air yang guna kabel. Sedangkan bidang autonomous unautonomous vehicle well advanced dalam bidang akademik. Kita pun dah buat sebenarnya, tetapi dia ada trust issue. Bukan sekadar Malaysia, the whole wide world lah. Tak banyak oil and gas company Shell yang guna AUV secara meluas berbanding ROV because of the teknologi yang trust level dari segi the usefulness of technology in industry, in real application. Jadi tu jawab soalan tadi. Jawapan dia betul lah. Dalam bidang-bidang tertentu. Itu je lah jawapan dia.
Terima kasih Prof.
Okay, thank you Dr. Azman daripada UTM lah Dr. Azman.
Ya saya.
Alright, thanks for joining us. Alright, so masa pun dah sampai ke penghujungnya. Saya just nak share, kita ada 2 lagi talk, July and August. Must have attributes of successful postgraduate research supervisors. And August, professional qualifications and membership for academics. What's the catch? Okay. Jadi butiran link untuk registration akan kita kongsikan di Facebook Perintis, dan juga sekali lagi rakaman boleh dicari dan ditonton semula untuk sesi-sesi yang lepas bermula daripada Februari di YouTube Perintis juga. Okay. So terima kasih sekali lagi kepada Prof Rizal atas perkongsian pada pagi ini.
Terima kasih semua.
Kepada semua partisipan yang hadir pada pagi Ahad ni, walaupun kalau Dr. Azman UTM KL lah.
Skudai kerja. Kita jauh kerja.
Skudai kerja, betul lah, skudai kerja. Betul.
Bagi yang berada di KL ni cuti lah kan. Jadi thank you for attending, dan juga yang bekerja pun ada komitmen tapi still dapat join juga. InsyaAllah kita jumpa lagi pada sesi akan datang. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Assalamualaikum.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Terima kasih.